So this is going to be the topic, molecular basis of mutation. And this is my usual disclaimer. Now the question is, what is meant by point mutation? It is defined as a sudden and heritable change in the nucleic acid sequence of the cell of an organism. It is spontaneous, and heritable means, it can be passed down from parents to offspring. So the classical definition of point of mutation is, it is a sudden and heritable change in nucleic acid sequence. Now we can broadly classify this into these two groups. One is point mutation and the second one is frame shift mutation. Now what is meant by point mutation? This is point mutation. So when there is a change at one particular place, only one nitrogen base in the DNA sequence changes. For example, this is the normal DNA sequence ATGC, ATGC. Okay, what has happened is, in place of an A, a T has come over here. So this is what is called as point mutation. When there is a change only in a single base, then it is called as a point mutation. And what has happened when this DNA strand undergoes replication? So in place of an AT pair in the original DNA sequence, AT pair, this is AT pair here, you have a TA base pair. You have a TA base pair. So this change in nucleic acid sequence at a single point is called as a point mutation. Now this point mutation can be harmful or it can sometimes be harmless as well. It all depends on what? It all depends on what is the site of mutation. Okay, point mutation can be fatal also. For example, you must have, studied during your school time, in Peshwa's time, there is a very famous story that Narayan Ravanna Dharave. Anandibai said, Narayan Ravanna Dharave. So in place of Dha, Anandibai changes it to Ma. It becomes Narayan Ravanna Marave. So just a one letter change, makes such a significant difference. Dharave means to hold, pakadna, whereas Marave means to kill, to finish. So similarly, a single base pair change in nucleic acid sometimes can be fatal, can have fatal consequences also. And many times it can be harmless also. It depends what is exactly the site of mutation. Let us see what is meant by that. For example, this is the original DNA sequence. When it gets transcribed, you get this messenger RNA, 3 nucleotides, they form a codon, and this codon codes for amino acid lysine. Okay. Now, if there is a mutation, this C in the original sequence is replaced by a T, right? So it is reflected in the RNA also. So you have a new codon, but the same codon, this new codon also codes for the same amino acid lysine. This also codes for lysine and this also codes for lysine. Okay. There are amino acids which may have more than one codon. So in that case, though there is a change in nucleic acid sequence, but it is not reflected in the amino acid sequence, it remains, the amino acid still remains the lysine. So such a mutation is called as silent point mutation. It doesn't have any effect. Second one is, let's say this T this T has been replaced by an A, okay, in the DNA sequence. It is reflected in the RNA sequence also. So in place of AAG here, now you have a UAG. And UAG is one of the 3 stop codons. So that means amino acid biosynthesis, protein biosynthesis will stop. There will not be any further protein biosynthesis. So such type of point mutations are called as nonsense point mutations. The third one is missense point mutation. So let's say this T, central T has been changed to a C. Okay, so you have this nucleotide sequence in the messenger RNA, and this triplet of nucleotides, they actually code for amino acid arginine. Original codon was coding for lysine. Now this changed codon codes for arginine. Similarly, this central T has been replaced by a G here. So you have a altogether new codon here in the messenger RNA, and this now codes for threonine. So originally it was lysine. When you change it to C, it becomes arginine. When you change it to G, it becomes threonine. So these are called as missense mutations when there is a change in the amino acid. And missense mutations can be of 2 types. You have conservative missense mutation and you have non-conservative missense mutation. What is meant by conservative? Conservative means the changed amino acid, this arginine, it belongs to same class of amino acid as that of the original one. What is meant by class? Means hydrophobic, hydrophilic, acidic, alkaline. So that is meant by class. So if the changed amino acid belongs to the same class as that of the original one, you call it as conservative point mutation, conservative missense point mutation. And when the changed amino acid, for example, threonine here, if it belongs to a different class than that of lysine, original one, then the mutation is called as non-conservative missense point mutation. So depending upon the site and depending upon, what type of amino acid is brought in, new amino acid is brought in, point mutations have been named accordingly. Now, second type of mutation is called as frame shift mutation. Frame shift mutation. What is meant by reading frame? When the mutation leads to a change in the reading frame, then it is called as frame shift mutation. It is referred to as frame shift mutation. The question is, what is meant by reading frame? So reading frame means the sequence of codons in the messenger RNA which specify the sequence of amino acids in the polypeptide. That is called as a reading frame. For example, I have tried to show it here. Say this is the DNA sequence. This is the DNA sequence which is acting as a template. ATGC, ATGC. You can have your own. Right? And when it gets transcribed, this is the sequence of the messenger RNA, which is complementary to the template DNA sequence. So these 3 nucleotides, they constitute one codon. This is second codon. This is codon 3. Each codon codes for an amino acid. So serine, threonine, alanine, like this. So this nucleotide sequence in the messenger RNA, which specify the sequence of amino acid, is called as reading frame. This is called as reading frame. So when there is an addition or there is a deletion, this reading frame tends to change. I have tried to show it over here by taking an example of addition. C has been added here. This is the point where a C has been added. Okay. A C has been added here. Here. So what has happened? You have a C and this entire nucleotide sequence beyond this point shifts one nucleotide towards the right hand side. So C has been added over here. So A has shifted here, T has shifted here, one nucleotide, G has shifted, C has shifted like this. So you have one nucleotide shift on the right hand side, which is reflected in the messenger RNA. So you have an altered nucleotide sequence in the messenger RNA. You compare this sequence with this sequence. So this is what is called as reading frame. So there is a change in reading frame which has been shown in the green. And when you have these changed reading frame, when it is when it is translated, you have an altogether new amino acid sequence. So you compare this amino acid sequence with that of this amino acid. So when there is a change in reading frame, the amino acid sequence from the point of addition and beyond, or from the point of deletion and beyond, that amino acid sequence changes. The reading frame also changes, and the amino acid sequence also changes from the point of addition or deletion. I have taken this example of addition. You can take an exercise where you delete one base, and then you can find out what is the change in the reading frame. So in either case, the reading frame changes beyond the point of addition or point of deletion, and that results in change in the amino acid sequence beyond that particular point. This is called as frame shift mutation. Now, what are the causes? What are the reasons of the mutation? So the reasons of the mutations, there are three reasons. One is substitution of base, addition of base, or deletion of base. These are the three main reasons of the mutations. The most common of the three, of course, is the substitution of a nucleotide, substitution of a base in DNA sequence with the other nucleotide or other base. Of the three types that I have mentioned here, substitution, addition, and deletion, substitution of a nucleotide in the DNA sequence by another one is the most common. And you can have therefore two types of substitution mutations. One is what is called as transition substitution mutation, and the other one is called as transversion substitution mutation. Now, what is meant by transition and transversion substitution mutation? This is transition mutation. So when a purine, now you understand what is meant by purine and what is meant by pyrimidine. So when the purine base is replaced by purine, such type of mutation is called as, or a pyrimidine for that matter is replaced by a pyrimidine, then this type of mutation is called as transition substitution point mutation, or this type of substitution mutation is called as transition point mutation. And you can have four different types of transition mutations. Four transition mutations are possible. So you know A is a purine, G is a purine, T is a cytosine, and C is a cytosine. When A is replaced by G, shown by this arrow, or G is replaced by A, or cytosine is replaced by thymine, or thymine is replaced by cytosine, in that case, these will result in transition mutation. And therefore, four such type of transition mutations are possible. Let us understand what is meant by transversion mutation. So this is transversion mutation. When a purine is replaced by a pyrimidine, or vice versa, means if pyrimidine is replaced by purine, then the resulting mutation is called as transversion point mutation. In earlier case, what we saw, purine is replaced by purine and pyrimidine is replaced by pyrimidine. In this case, we are talking about purine is replaced by pyrimidine and vice versa, means pyrimidine is replaced by purine. So such cases, such type of mutation, substitution mutation, they will be called as transversion point mutation. And 8 different types of transversion mutations are possible. Shown here, A is a purine, G is a purine, C is a pyrimidine, T is a pyrimidine. So when a purine, A is replaced by C, shown by this arrow, and C is replaced by A, shown by the opposite arrow, or a pyrimidine, C is replaced by a G, a purine, or a purine G is replaced by C, or a purine G is replaced by T, thymine, which is a pyrimidine, or a T is replaced by G, which is a purine, or a T is replaced by A, T is a pyrimidine, A is a purine, or A is replaced by T. All these types of mutations, when such type of substitution take place, they are called as transversion point mutation, and 8 different types of transversion mutations are possible. Now, what factors are responsible for mutation? There are 3 main reasons mutation can occur. One is tautomeric shift. What is meant by tautomeric shift? I will let you know shortly. Second, when the DNA gets exposed to chemical mutagens, there can be base analogs, there can be chemicals which modify the bases, or there can be a specific class of dyes called acridine dyes. So when the DNA gets exposed to them, it is likely that it may undergo mutation. And besides this, there are environmental factors. So we'll come to these one by one. Let us first understand what is meant by a tautomeric shift. It has been suggested by Watson and Crick, who proposed the double helical model of the DNA. What they proposed, that some of the hydrogen atoms in the nitrogen bases, hydrogen atoms in the nitrogen bases, they are mobile. They are mobile means they can change their position to produce tautomers of those bases. For example, amino group NH2, because of the mobility of the hydrogen atom, can be changed to imino group because of the mobility of the hydrogen atoms here in the amino group. Similarly, keto group, because of the mobility of the adjoining hydrogen atoms, can be converted to enol group. This is the enol. This is keto. Keto group, because of the mobility of the adjoining hydrogen atoms, can be changed to enol group. And it doesn't happen very often. Please understand that it happens only 1 in 10,000 bases. It doesn't occur very often. It occurs very rarely. At any given time, only 1 in 10,000 bases may actually be undergoing this kind of a tautomeric shift. But when the nitrogen base undergoes a tautomeric shift, in its tautomeric form, its base pairing potential is altered. It doesn't base pair with the standard base. It doesn't follow the standard base pairing norms. In the tautomeric form of the base doesn't follow the standard pairing norms. For example, you know A always pairs with T. But let's say when A has undergone a tautomeric shift shown by A star, just at the time of replication, if A has undergone a tautomeric shift, then it no longer pairs with T, it pairs with a C. The base pairing potential is altered because of a tautomeric shift, and therefore it brings about the substitution point mutation. Please try and understand what I'm saying. Only 1 in 10,000 bases, at any given point of time may actually be undergoing the tautomeric shift. And precisely at that time when that particular base is getting replicated, if it undergoes a tautomeric shift, then its pairing potential is altered. For example, A, you know it pairs with T, but just in the nick of the time when A was to be replicated, if it has undergone a tautomeric shift, A star, then it no longer pairs with T, rather it pairs with a C, and thereby brings about a substitution point mutation. I have shown it here. So this is the pyrimidine ring, this is the purine ring. We have understood it earlier also. So these are the different purine bases. This is adenine and this is guanine. So you have an amino group here. This hydrogen atom is mobile. It can come here also. Okay. So because of this mobility of the hydrogen atom, this amino groups change to imino group. Similarly, you have a carboxyl group here or keto group here, you can say. This adjacent hydrogen atom, it is mobile. It can be shifted here. So this keto group gets converted to enol group. So this brings about the tautomeric shift. Same is the case in case of pyrimidines also. Cytosine. You have an amino group. This hydrogen atom is mobile. It can always come here. So amino group changes to imino group. You have a keto group here in uracil. So adjacent hydrogen atom can be shifted here. So this keto group gets converted to enol group. So this is the cause of tautomeric shift. These hydrogen atoms, some of the hydrogen atoms in the nitrogen bases, they are mobile, and their mobility causes a change from one functional group to other functional group, resulting in a tautomeric shift. So let us understand this, taking one example. So you have an AT pair shown here, right? So when this undergoes replication, just at the nick of time, A has undergone a tautomeric shift shown by this star. Its pairing potential is changed. So you have A pairing with C rather than T. Okay. And this tautomeric shift, or the tautomers, they are spontaneous. They remain only there for some time, momentarily, and immediately they will come back to their original form. Just at the nick of the time when they are undergoing replication, if they are found in the tautomer form, their pairing potential is altered. Immediately they will come back to their original form. So A will come back to its original form in the next replication cycle. This is the next replication cycle, and it will pair with standard T. But what has happened during the time of replication, a C was incorporated. In the next cycle of replication, when this C is replicated, you have a CG pair. So originally in the DNA, you had an AT pair. That AT pair, in the subsequent cycles of replication, AT pair has been replaced by a CG pair. So this is what is called as a substitution mutation brought about by tautomeric shift in the hydrogen atoms. Now, base analogs. This is a kind of chemical mutagens. You have different types of chemical mutagens. So base analogs, they are similar, structurally similar to the actual bases. And as a result of that, during replication, if base analogs are also present along with the normal bases, the chances are that DNA polymerase will pick up by mistake, in place of the correct base, its analog, and they will be incorporated in the growing DNA chain. So these base analogs, they bring about transition mutation. For example, adenine is the normal base. You know it pairs with thymine. Adenine, it has an analog, it is called as 2-aminopurine. 2-aminopurine, structurally very similar to that of adenine, but it is not adenine, it is 2-aminopurine. And this 2-aminopurine, it actually doesn't pair with T, rather it pairs with a C. So a base analog, when it gets incorporated into the growing DNA chain, it may also bring about a change in base pair, transition, substitution, mutation. For example, I have tried to show it over here. You have an AT pair. So when it was getting replicated, let's say, in place of an A, DNA polymerase has picked up this base analog 2-aminopurine. So 2-aminopurine, in the subsequent cycle, it doesn't pair with the normal base T, it pairs with C. And it is not momentary, it remains there forever. So okay, in the subsequent cycles, you will have an aminopurine C and you will have a CG pair. CG pair in place of an AT pair. So this is a substitution type of a mutation. Same is thymine. So thymine, you know it pairs with adenine. Thymine has an analog called 5-bromouracil. So in place of a methyl group, you have a bromine group. Structurally, rest of the things are same. But this 5-bromouracil, when it is incorporated, it doesn't pair with adenine. Rather, it tends to pair with guanine. So it also brings about a substitution mutation. Now you have different bases also, chemicals also, which can modify bases. Base modifying chemicals. For example, nitrous acid. So nitrous acid, what does it do? Nitrous acid oxidatively deaminates. Oxidatively deaminates the bases and cause ATGC transitions. Nitrous acid, for example, converts adenine to hypoxanthine. In presence of nitrous acid, normal base adenine gets converted to hypoxanthine. Now you know adenine pairs with T, but when it has been oxidatively deaminated to hypoxanthine, it no longer pairs with T, rather it pairs with cytosine. So that is why we said, it brings about AT to GC transitions. Similarly, hydroxylamine is another chemical. Hydroxylamine, it exclusively reacts with cytosine. So it converts cytosine into a cytosine derivative. Cytosine pairs with G. Normal cytosine pairs with G. But when it has been converted to its derivative in presence of hydroxylamine, right, this cytosine derivative doesn't pair with G, it pairs with an A. So it also brings about a substitution point mutation. So this is the second reason of mutation. Now the last is in this acridine dyes. This is a class of dyes which are highly mutagenic. Why they are highly mutagenic? The reason is that they intercalate, that means sandwich between the stacked base pairs in the DNA double helix. What do? They sandwich themselves between the bases. These are the nitrogen bases in duplex, and these acridine dyes, their molecules, they can sit in between the nitrogen bases. Stacked nitrogen. This is the dye. This is the dye molecule, and it has sandwiched itself between the nitrogen bases. So in such a case, when such a molecule undergoes replication, it causes deletion of one or more than one base pair during replication. Because of this sandwiched dye molecules, when such a DNA duplex, when it undergoes replication, it causes deletion of one or more than one base pairs during the replication, and as a result of that, it causes what is called as frame shift mutation. Frame shift mutation, because the entire reading frame beyond the point of deletion, the entire reading frame changes. So now you know what is meant by reading frame, and it results in what is referred to as frame shift mutation. Please try and understand, as I said earlier, point mutations, depending upon the site, they can be harmful or they can be harmless. They can be very harmful, they can be in fact fatal also. I have given you one example, that's a Ma. You can remember that particular example. Okay, because if the mutation is taking place in an amino acid at a point, that amino acid plays a very significant role in the biological function of that protein, then that mutation is going to be, is going to have a significant effect on the phenotype. It can be fatal also. But on the other hand, frame shift mutation, without exception, they are all the time, they have fatal consequences, because the entire reading frame beyond the point of addition or beyond the point of deletion, the entire reading frame changes. So they are always they have fatal consequences. So this is all about the first part of molecular basis of mutation. I will